2, 3.
Welcome, Cosmic Explorers, to the Human Design and Astro Club podcast, your celestial compass to self-discovery and personal empowerment. We are going to take you on a cosmic journey where we dive deep into the fascinating realms of human design, astrology, and tarot, where we will unravel the cosmic codes that shape your personalities, relationships, and destinies. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Human Design and Astro Club podcast. And this is the podcast you've been waiting for. Okay, I was so close to doing it again, but I keep holding back my little sacral sounds. Anywho, so welcome to the Human Design and Astro Club podcast. And this is a look ahead. And it is March transits. We're in March. Wow.
Crazy.
Well, we're not in March. We're very, very ahead.
We're way back.
We're way back at the beginning of February as we record. So yeah, March is a month to start shaking things up. I feel like February is giving us a breather, or gave us a breather. And now, you know, as we move into Aries, of course, we're going to have to kick things up a notch. That's what Aries does, right?
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in just shortly, I should say. I was going to say in a moment, but it's not going to be a moment. Let's be real. Anywho, before we dive into what a look ahead is going to be about, let's introduce ourselves. So, hello, my name is Krystle, and I am a 1-3 sacral generator. And what else am I? I am a Sagittarius sun. I'm an Aries moon, and I am a Capricorn rising. I said that all over the place, but yeah. And so just before Leah goes, because I feel like, again, it's important to give you guys a little background, because maybe you're new here. Hi, welcome if you're new here. This is a great episode to meet us on, because we dive deep in these a look ahead episodes. And so I just want to give you a little background on me, just in case you don't know who I am. I have been in my human design experiment, actually, officially March is 7 years.
Awesome.
So yeah, like officially. Like, you know, it's like we learn about human design before, and then it's like, when did you enter into your experiment? If you remember, the only reason I remember is because it was around the time that I ran this 5K. And so like that point of reference, I always remember. So officially, I mean, for you guys, I have entered into my 7 years of human design experimentation. Before that, I used to do hair and makeup professionally for about 13 years. I also worked at the Kabbalah Center accidentally. We won't get into that story, but that's really what set me on the trajectory of human design, because it is the Kabbalah tree of life and the human design body graph that, you know, really explains our roadmap. Really, the tree of life is the roadmap to, you know, living out ourselves on this material plane. And so it's like our instruction manual. So I have been, you know, I've been experimenting for 7 years, and for the last 3+ years, I created a business, 2 businesses, Journey Through HD and the Human Design and Astro Club. That's part of this podcast. And so I really help people up level their lives. I like to consider myself to be a lifestyle mentor. I actually was just telling Leah before we got on here that one of our past members of like a bunch of things they did with us from really the beginning, that they just got into a relationship. And how exciting that is, because that's why I can't limit myself. I feel like saying like, oh, I'm just working with entrepreneurs or business people, or like just a relationship, you know, mentor or something like that, or just self-help. I do it all. I can't limit myself to just one category. The category is human design and self-love. And if you're looking to love yourself and love your life, I'm your girl. And then I got a little projector over here. She's going to introduce herself, because she does a lot of things too.
Yeah. I'm Leah. I'm a 2/4 splenic projector, an Aquarius sun, a Taurus moon, and Libra rising. I have, I don't even know. My spiritual journey started probably 7 or 8 years ago, maybe more than that. I did a lot of like personal development, personal growth books, and journaling and that kind of stuff. Human design came into my world probably like 4 or 5 years ago, but I didn't actually start working with it. I think like three, right? 3 or 4 years, I think, something like that.
You're in the middle of your third, I think,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah. And but I read tarot cards. I've been doing that for 7 years. And that's been really fun to kind of pair that with human design to see like how the cards play out and kind of give you like an idea into your own inner world. And I think that's what human design does too. So they kind of like pair with each other really well. I do a lot of our background work. I help with our website. I do like our images, and Krystle is like our idea person. So we kind of like work together really well because we're able to kind of help each other use our qualities and our strengths in what we do as a business at the Human Design Astro Club. So I think it's cool just to kind of see how we're able to work with each other and use our strengths and help each other through a lot of stuff together.
I'm the creative, I guess, and you
Mhm.
help bring it into form. That's
Mhm.
that's where I had trouble when I first started Journey
Yeah.
through HD. That's my other business, which is mostly readings, expos, speaking events. That's what I do with my Journey through HD. And then the Human Design and Astro Club, if you guys are interested in knowing a little bit more about that. It's not just a podcast. We also have a YouTube. Hi, YouTubers. How are you? And just so you guys know, we are trying to reach 500 subscribers over on YouTube because we have something special that we have been
Yeah.
working on behind the scenes. And in order to really bring that into form, we need to reach 500 subscribers. So if you can help us, all you have to do is subscribe over there. Also, feel free to share an episode with a friend and watch an episode that you find interesting. And once we get to the 500, we will be doing a giveaway. And this is a
Woohoo.
giveaway that every single person is going to want. Like I'm like, okay, because I've got the goods and I'm going to give it. Gonna give it to one lucky winner.
Woohoo.
Anywho, so there was something else I was gonna say, and I completely lost my train of thought. As I was telling Leah before we got on here, I feel like I'm in retrograde, but there is currently no planets retrograde. It's just me.
It's just the transits in general.
I think it's just the emotional transits for me, and I'm like heading into a new transit. Actually, the the program just moved just as we started recording. So
Excellent.
so yeah, I'm probably going to be a little wishy-washy, which feels I'm in two emotional transits now this week, so it's going to be interesting. I always notice when
Mhm.
I'm in an emotional transit because I'm either like super like high and like ramped up in some way, or I'm like, is there a soul in that body? You know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like I don't care. I'm not like that on a regular basis. I'm just kind of like as a non-emotional, Leah and I are both non-emotionals, meaning our solar plexus is open. It's white. And so for us, it's like we just prefer to be in this like neutral zone. Like, feelings are scattered, floating around, but they don't impact us. Like we like to just not be in a high, not be in a low, but we're like right there, even keeled in the middle.
Hmm.
But that's not my experiment or experience for the next couple months. But
Yeah.
anyways, there was something else I was going to say that was kind of important, but I completely lost it. But just so everybody knows, oh, I was going to tell you guys about the Human Design and Astro Club. So we're not just a podcast, we're not just a YouTube channel. We also do classes. Like right now, we actually have a free class that is actually coming up in the next couple of days. It's March 3rd. If
Hmm.
you are listening to this right now and it is not March 3rd, okay? So if it's March 1st or March 2nd, you still got time, okay? We're doing a free class for the first time ever, I may never do this again either. So if you've been interested in the variables, the human design variables, this is your opportunity to get information on all of the colors of the variables, meaning determination, environment, view, and motivation. All of those colors, 1 through 6, that run through each of those variables. I am doing a free webinar on this. Leah will be joining me, and we have a great group of people that are already on the list that are coming. It is going to be live only as for now. I might have a little secret afterwards, but we'll see what happens. You have to join us live on March 3rd. It's at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all you have to do is go into the description down below, into the show notes, and you can just register for free. And then it's on Zoom. It's going to be on Zoom. So get the Zoom link immediately after you register, and then you meet us on. And we're also going to be doing a Q&A. So if you have questions on the variables, bring them. I love responding, and I will be responding to that. So we also do classes, like we just said with that. We do workshops. We also have a program called the Color Code Variable Intensive. It's a 5-week really journey through all of the variables, deep dive. And I do readings, and that's the majority of what we do. What we do is we help make your life easier. And who the hell doesn't want that? Okay? It'll teach you how to love yourself, teach you how to love the other, teach you how to work with the cosmic current that we're going to talk about right now. So these episodes are called a look ahead, as I was just saying. So where we're really focusing on the transits and what are called the human design programs. Now, the human design program incorporates the sun and the earth. They're a coupling pair that travel together on the mandala. Okay. I like to say, like, the wheel of life we're kind of like traveling through. And it's like, what episode are you tuning into this week? Because we get these programs, okay, that really are establishing the episodes of the movie, the grand movie called Life that we're living out, right? These episodes are happening for about approximately 6 days. And the reason is because the sun and the earth are going to travel together through the 6 lines. Okay. Hopefully I'm not losing you. We also have, if you haven't already, if you're not on our email list, we send out a monthly newsletter called the Cosmic Forecast. Okay. And so on that Cosmic Forecast, we provide you every single program that we're going to talk about on here. We don't give all of the placements for these episodes because sometimes it's a little too much information. Knowledge is power, but sometimes too much information will lose you in the sauce. Okay. I don't want you to get lost in the sauce. So what we suggest is you listen to these episodes, and you can listen to these episodes or watch these episodes if you're on YouTube, while also using the Cosmic Forecast that actually provides every single gate that's running through the sun for the month and every single gate that's running through the earth for the month. We give you the keynotes, we give you the themes for the month, and we also talk a little bit more deeper about the astrological current that's also happening as well. The new moons, the full moons, anything that's going on that month, we also throw in the Cosmic Forecast. So you can join the Cosmic Forecast in the show notes down below through our email list. All you have to do is find our email list. What does it say, Leah? Just says probably join the email.
Join our newsletter. It's humandesignastro.com/newsletter.
Yeah. And there's a quick link though in the show notes.
Quick link in the show notes. Yeah. It's join our newsletter.
You can also check out what we got going on, what we got cooking on our website on humandesignastro.com. I am Journey Through HD on Instagram. Leah is the Splenic Projector, and together collectively we are Human Design Astro Club. Also on Instagram, all of those handles, those Instagram handles are also in the show notes down below. So we are one of the only, I have to say one of the only, because who the hell knows who else is out there. I don't know everybody out there. So we're one of the only human design podcasts that don't just focus on human design. These episodes that we're talking about on here, we're talking about human design, astrology, and tarot, and the thread that runs through. It really explains the full spectrum, the full story of what we're working with the cosmic current, the energy of every given moment of every given day. Okay. So what we're really providing for you guys is tangible and practical ways to actually work with these systems. A lot of people just give information, but then it's like, well, what the hell do you do with it? That's where you come to us. We help really apply and supply the steps for you to get to where you're going in life. So what else do I want to say here? There was something else, totally lost it. I'm just going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying I totally lost it. So you guys are just going to, have to deal with that. So another thing I want to share is that we don't just do these a look ahead episodes. You can take a look at our podcast or our YouTube. We have a lot of educational episodes that are scattered throughout the show. I have 2 new series that I started. One's called True Crime Human Design. It's a focus on problematic public figures. It's an analysis. I'm a 1-3. Okay. I'm the investigator. So we analyze people's charts, so like problematic public figures, cults. We just did one on a cult, in February. You can check that one out. It was, who was it again?
The Twin Flames.
Twin Flames Universe. That's right. Sorry. I was
It
like,
was so good.
that was
You
really,
have to go listen.
yeah, that was a good episode. And then I also am doing lives, Get Ready With Me, Human Design Style, and we pick a topic and I put my makeup on. I used to do makeup professionally, so I thought that would be a fun thing to, I'm a kitchen's environment, kind of combining both of my passions together. So you can check those out. So how these episodes are going to roll, just so you guys know. And you can also, we have timestamps, just so you guys know, in the show notes if you need to skip ahead, because the first segment that we're going to do is a journey. Okay. So we're basically going to be traveling through the astrological signs in a little bit of a meditation. Okay. So those parts of the episode, you really want to be not driving, okay, specifically.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you could pause, you could skip ahead and come back to that journey when you are able to sit or lie down. So we're gonna do that first, and it kind of like opens you up to the next portion of the episode, which is going
Yeah.
to be the programs. So I'm going to break down all of the energy through each of the human design programs for the entire month. So we're going to go through the programs, and then after that, we're going to do mark your calendars. And so we're going to talk about new moons, full moons, and then any other important dates that you might need to mark your calendars with. And then Leo will be pulling tarot for the human design types at the end. So definitely stick around for that. So let me clear everybody. All right, let's do a little clearing here. Not to get my camera like I did that one time. Everybody needs a little abundance in their life. Gotta make it balanced everywhere on the side of me.
It's all over my laptop again. It's fine. Then the laptop's cleansed, microphone is
I do it on
cleansed.
the outside because I know what happened that one time. So I'm also holding a bag of clear quartz that actually like there's a lot of energy in this. I got this from a plant store that they had like crystals that were mined in Alaska.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I want to go mining one day. Not to go on a tangent,
You'd
but
probably love it. It's really fun.
you've done it?
Yeah, I used to go as a kid. There was a mining place up where I used to live.
They're all over the place. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have to go. It's
your
like,
kids would love it too because it's mountains. They'd be in there all over the place.
yeah, be really great for a kitchens and mountains person.
Yep.
So anyways, so I'm gonna put those on my little lap here while I do this. So I can use my hands because I'm a very handsy person. I don't know if it's the Italian in me or what, but I'm going to give you guys a little bit of Reiki to start. So I want you guys to close your eyes for this, okay? Or open if you don't like it, whatever you want to do, okay? I'm not your authority. So get comfortable is what I want to tell you, because what we're going to do is we're going to take in the energy for the month and we're going to go along a journey together, okay? So the first place we're going to start is where we were last month. You can check out the journey from last month if you would like on our last episode of a look ahead February transits. So we're going back to the ocean, okay? Because that's where Pisces is. Pisces is in the deepest part of the ocean. If you remember, you unlocked a door with a key that was given to you in Pisces. And so now that you've unlocked that door, you're going to start being able to really move, right? It's time to get fluid within your body, within your being, and allow yourself to really start to move towards the surface. Because Pisces is the completion of all the 12 signs of the zodiac, right? This is the last stage that we get to of evolving. We are currently right now swimming through the depth of self. And so I want you to start swimming using your arms and your legs and your body and really feeling one as you're swimming towards the surface, because that's where we're going. We're going to the surface. As you're swimming towards the surface, I want you to ask yourself, how do I feel right now? What energy is moving through me? Can I name it? Can I name the energy that is working through me right now? Do I also see anything? Do I see a color? Do I see a word? Do I see anything that is going to be a signpost of where I need to go next? You can also use your other senses as you're swimming towards the surface. Do you smell anything? Do you taste anything? Can you touch anything? And also, the best question to ask is there anybody else with me on this journey? Who is it? Is there somebody swimming next to you? Is there somebody swimming behind you? Is there somebody swimming in front of you that's kind of leading the way? Or are you the leader? So I want you to start swimming towards the surface. And as you get up and out of the water and your head gets above water, I want you to take a deep inhale in and release. And again, inhale in and release. And one more time and release. And so now I want you to look out, because now everything's about to begin again. You are starting over. It's almost like you've exited the maternal womb of life. And now you are, a new being. It's almost like you're a baby again. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It is the baby. It is the time to really begin again. And it is the one that wants to move the fastest. So you're going to feel like through the energy that something wants to be released inside of you. And so as you're swimming and you're looking around and you're on the surface now, there's going to be something that's going to take you to that next phase in life. What is it? There's got to be something where you're going to have to be able to plant your feet on, because you've got nothing. Pisces is fluid, right? It is everything. But now it's time to really establish who you are. Aries is about the self. So I want you to look around and see what you need to step onto. What is the next platform that you need to step onto? Is there a boat? Is there a ship waiting for you? Is there a raft? Is there a plank? Is there a piece of driftwood? What is in front of you or within your peripheral that you're going to swim towards so you can plant your feet back on solid ground, so to speak? So you're now going to start swimming towards that either it could even be ground. Maybe you see land. So start swimming towards it. You're going to swim towards it. And once you get to that established ground, boat, ship, raft, I want you to climb aboard. Okay? And I want you to feel the ground beneath your feet. Is it a ship? Does it have a deck? What does that feel like? Is it the earth? Did you find land? Is it grass? Is it sand? Is it gravel? Are there shells? Where are you? Are you on a beach? Are you on an island? Where are you now? Where is the self? And then the next question to ask is, where does the self want to go? And where does the self want to grow? Maybe you have some sort of little turbojet on the back of your boat. Wherever you are, it's time to start moving, because that's what Aries wants to do. It doesn't like to stand still. It wants to start moving. So wherever you are, you need to hit the go button. Whether that is a boat, whether that is a raft, whether that is a piece of land, start moving. And what I want you to look out is in front of you. What is in front of you? What is that next big thing that you want to bring into this material world? And I want you to begin to move towards it. Maybe you see a person, maybe you see a shape, maybe you see your next big business idea. Maybe you see a partner. Maybe you see a relationship that you've been trying to cultivate or culminate or call in. And I want you to start moving towards that. And once you get in front of whatever that is, I want you to ask that person, that thing, that entity, whatever it is that is standing in front of you, I want you to ask, what message do you have for me? Because whatever that message is going to get you to that next step. So I'm going to be silent for a moment so you can have a conversation with whatever it is that's standing in front of you. I want you to ask them, what is the most important thing that I need to know right now to get me to that next place in life? And I want you to thank whatever it is that's standing in front of you. And I want you to start to come back into the body. I want you to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And I want you to take 3 deep inhales in, and then we will come back. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Inhale in. And let go. Again. And let go. And one more time, and you're going to hold at the top for a moment. Hold and release. And now you can open your eyes. Who'd you talk to?
Well, I landed on an island.
Okay, yeah. Where'd you go?
I landed on an island with sand and like palm trees. And then I saw like a castle, like a house or like a big castle with a big set of stairs, and was told it's okay to take the next step because you're not alone. So I don't know what that will go with, but
was there anybody with you?
there was someone next to me. It wasn't a specific. It was just probably guides. Yeah.
That's nice.
And
if anybody also, because I like to, I love hearing people's, journeys. If there's anybody listening right now that wants to share who they spoke to on their journey or what land they got on, whether that was an actual land, like an island like Leah, or maybe you got on a ship or something else. Maybe it could even be a spaceship, maybe a spaceship landed in the middle of the ocean. You got on that. You can let us know in the comments on YouTube if you would like. So let's move towards our next segment. And we're going to walk through each of the programs for the month. We're going to start March 1st. Okay. So the first program, this is a focus. And I want to make sure that you guys understand what I'm talking about when I say focus and then grounding, supporting energy. Whenever I say focus, I'm referring to the sun gate. And whenever I'm talking about grounding and supporting, I'm referring to the earth gate. Okay. And so that way, when you're following along, in our cosmic forecast that you're going to you get the cosmic forecast the day after this episode drops. And then you can use that as a reference guide as we walk through each of these programs so that it makes it easy for you to really digest this information. There's steps for each place. I also have started a new series on Instagram that are quick energy updates that are actually through each of these programs with a little bit more detail in a nutshell version, super fast. So you could also have an extra way of being supported through those as well. Again, Journey Through HD and Human Design Astro Club. So let's talk about this focus. So the first focus on March 1st, this is a focus for this program on some head pressure, okay? To verify and create a new order where we are doubting ourselves or where even we have placed doubt on others. And what's grounding and supporting us is reflection. In order to move towards the next step of our doubt, as we were just talking about, maybe you had some of that while we were going through our journey. In order to move forward from that doubt, we must reflect first, right? You see how the program is working together. The sun and the earth are working together, okay? This is a chance this week to find meaning in your experiences. And then on March 6th, we move to the next program. This focus is on our emotions and finding grace in our feelings and how we want to express them. You might find for yourself either very open during this week to sharing or even socializing, okay? Or the complete opposite. Maybe you don't want to socialize, you don't want to talk to anybody, maybe you feel closed off. It's important to note how you're feeling during this week. And what's supporting your energy this week is going to be your mind and the interpretation of how you are feeling. This energy will help you clarify the meaning of these feelings and also memories and your experiences that have come from them. And then on March 12th, we get a new program. And this focus is on our emotions. And again, lots of, Pisces is just going to continue to do this kind of stuff to us, right? Got to feel. Pisces is like, I'm going to make you feel the deepest depths of life. And so this focus is also on our emotions and compassion for the ups and downs of life. This week is an opportunity for development, and what's grounding and supporting you is some more emotions on conflict. This is a week that I'm like, we're going to just X out that calendar. Once you find out what the gates are in the newsletter, you're going to be like, okay. So finding stability in friction. That's going to be the big game changer for you can be hard, right? Finding stability in friction that these emotions are bringing up and how we can also bond with others through and the impact that they make on us. So there's a lot of relationship energy happening for this week. And then on March 18th, we move into a new program. And so this energy is part of the spring equinox, by the way. So take note of this, okay? Because we're going to talk about that when we get to marker calendars. But March 18th, this is the energy of the spring equinox and a connection back to your heart. All the equinoxes, just so you guys know, are like through the love gates, okay? So this is a connection back to the heart. And so we have a focus on love, but not just any kind of love, okay? This is universal love. This week, it's a time to feel the connection between you and everything, a tree, a bird, even down to a blade of grass. It is when we realize we are truly all connected that we can dismantle the illusion of separateness. And what's grounding and supporting this energy is more love. But this love is the love of the body, the love of the vessel that is our vehicle that supports us on this material plane. So give love also to your body this week. And then on March 23rd, We get a new focus on our mind and the opinions we formulate in order to create structure. And grounding and supporting us is judgment and correction. In order to create those opinions, we need to know what's working and what's not working, right? So we can improve things. So a great week to clear out the cobwebs, I would say, in some way, whether that be your mind, your house, your business, your career, your job, your relationships, take your pick. Okay. And then on March 29th, which is our last program for the month, is going to be a focus on our heart and our resources. This energy wants to control. Okay. I actually have this gate. I am a bit of a control freak, if you did not know. So look to see what or who you are trying to control this week and vice versa. This is also a great time to restructure your resources. And what's going to help with that is the depth. The depth of those resources you have, or again, trying to establish. It is through this intuitive awareness that you can establish appropriate solutions to create the order in which you seek. So those are the programs for the month of March. And let's move to the next segment called Mark Your Calendars. So March 10th, we have New Moon Pisces. So this is a time to plant your seeds for the next 6 months. And Pisces is a mutable water sign and the last sign of the zodiac, as we were just talking about, right? So it is considered the most wise, mystical, and spiritual of all the signs. It holds no bounds. So as you plant your seeds, hold the energy, and this is going to be a connection with being a water sign to, of course, our emotions on this day. Ask yourself, and maybe you can even journal on, what am I open to feeling and experiencing for the next 6 months? How can I be open to making long-lasting connections in my social circles and the growth I want to experience for these coming months? And then on March 19th, as I was just telling you just before, we have the spring equinox. Definitely a great day to do a ritual. We'll probably put something a little bit more in depth on that ritual in our cosmic forecast, which again, you get the cosmic forecast the day after this episode drops. So just make sure if you're listening to this on March 1st and you are not subscribed to our email list, that your opportunity is in the show notes down below. March 21st, Aries season begins. Okay, so get ready for some action and some initiation. March 25th, you need to really if you don't have a pen, you need to pause this episode, okay? Right now. I am not kidding you. Okay, now if you're back, listen. This is the first eclipse of the year. This is why it's super important. Okay, first eclipse. It's going to set the tone for the entire year. And this is going to be a lunar South Node eclipse in Libra, March 25th. Okay. I cannot stress this date enough. And now listen, if you picked up the yearly forecast, go listen. Go listen to this part. Okay. You're going to want to know what I said because I gave you a lot of juice for this. Okay. But for the rest of you guys, listen up. Eclipses are here to shake things up and oftentimes establish a new order. Okay. There is an opportunity to really quantum leap into a new timeline, but it's up to you to do the work before, like beginning of the month, or you should have been doing it at the beginning of the year. I prepare this stuff well in advance for things like I look at what each activation is for the eclipses, and then I do the work that needs to be done so that the eclipse hopefully doesn't tornado me around, because that's kind of what eclipses do. It's kind of like a tornado and you never know where you're going to end up. So you kind of want to get your bearings before the eclipse starts. So What else was I saying? So you have an opportunity to go to a new timeline, but it's up to you to do the work before, before this, because it's going to be a 6-month cycle of a lot of stuff happening. Okay. So eclipse energy really is here to potentially take us in a new direction. And it's best practice to let it do its thing. Not the best time to do rituals during eclipses. I literally do nothing. Like, if you don't have anything going on yet, I would literally just put an X on this day and just let yourself exist. That's my, you can take my advice or not. I don't really care. But that's just what I would do. And that's what I'm going to do. So we are surrendering for this to the South Node, okay? That is going to clear out the gunk in our relationships. And also, Libra represents justice. Justice might be served during this eclipse. I'm a little nervous because that means the collective is going through, rebalancing the scales. Okay. So I do get a little nervous, but, protect yourself. Okay. Do all of your energetic work, all of your rituals, all of my witches out there, do all that stuff before. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look to see where you have Libra in your natal chart. Okay. What house is that in? What planet what planet do you have Libra in? And also, or you can have, you could have a lot of Libra in your chart. Look it up. Look to see what you have Libra in. And also, is there anybody else hanging out with Libra in that house? Because I have like most of my planets in my freaking 12th house. Okay. So look to see. For me, for example, I don't have any planets in Libra. I just have it ruled by the 10th house. kind of a kind of a big placement. So who knows what's going to happen with that. But again, I'm taking care of things beforehand. That's what you need to do. So anyways, where were we? So see where you have Libra in your natal chart, but also see where is Libra transiting during this eclipse. You can look up a transit chart also. Okay. So you're going to want to do that as well, because then what it actually does is when you have the natal and the transit chart, then you can actually get your personalized storyline for this eclipse and what you're working on. Okay. Where are you doing the work? This energy could ignite fear as well. That's happening. I feel like all eclipses kind of ignite a little fear, but this one in particular is igniting one, two, or both things, probably both. A little bit of fear mixed with a little bit of intuition. Okay. So, and that's what we're going to be looking at the world as. And we really want it. What we're really doing, what this eclipse is really going to be doing is correcting some shit. Okay. What needs to be improved? What needs to be improved in your relationships according to what house placement Libra is in for you and where it is also transiting? Okay. And we'll share a little bit more in the cosmic forecast on that and maybe a little bit more helpful ways to work with this energy beforehand. Okay. And then just kind of like let it do its thing during the eclipse. And like I said, our cosmic forecast is basically a digital roadmap. Digital roadmap. Okay. That's hard for me to say. Digital roadmap. I like to give myself tongue twisters as an open throat and just like let everybody laugh at me while I try to say words. So yeah, you'll be getting a digital roadmap, which is our cosmic forecast after this episode, March 2nd. I was like, what's the next day? March 2nd. All right. I'm going to stop talking because I really need to. I want to pass the baton to Leah. Hello there, Krystle here. And I wanted to stop you for just a moment and interrupt this episode and let you know about a few opportunities that we have outside of this podcast and YouTube channel. So we do have a bunch of classes, courses, workshops. We do all the things. And I want to let you know first about a few free classes that we have, like our crash course on understanding the transits and planets, and also our tips and tricks to understanding your strategy and authority. And then we also have our fractal family framework sample. Now, we also have, if you're at the beginning of your human design journey or you just want more information, our user manual to your true self, which explains all of the language of human design because it is quite dense. And I also do readings outside of this episode. You can also send me a DM on Journey Through HD waitlist, and I will get you on my list and send you an email for when I do have openings for my readings. We also have an affirmations guide for your open and undefined centers. And then what's coming up in May is our color code variable intensive, a 5-week journey through the 4 radical transformations that are also called the variables. And we help give practical and tangible information to apply this to your everyday life. And you get a lot of classes on this. Every week we do a live class, and there's also self-paced classes over in the lab and an opportunity to experiment. That's one of our biggest takeaways of our color code variable intensive is the experimentation. So you can check out all of this information down below in the description, and we hope to see you in May. And now back to this episode.
That got a little rough, but you made it. You made it all the way through. I have my Libra rising, and it's in my 12th house, so that's going to be fun. We'll see what happens there. Okay, so I'm going to go into
where is it?
12th, my 12th house.
Oh, fun. Well, at least that's behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mine's on center. So you're behind the scenes. I'm on center stage with mine.
We'll make it. We'll make it through.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all right. Any hoozles. So the tarot for the human design types. Okay. Now you're rubbing off on me. I'm not going to find my words either. Okay. So for the manifestors, I pulled the 9 of Swords, and this card, as you can see, is something is maybe keeping you up at night. Something is, giving you a little bit of anxiety about things, or you're worrying about something. And even if you're not, maybe this is just a card for you to pay attention to little things that might be keeping you distracted and keeping you from doing what you're here to do. So I would suggest, if you are struggling with sleep, to keep track of that and to keep track of the things that are really bugging you, the things that are keeping you awake, because the distraction throughout the day is going to help you not think about it. And we all know when it gets to night and everything is quiet, that's when our thoughts and feelings and all of our mind games start to play, and we don't have a distraction anymore from the day's activities. So we kind of have to face that darkness. We have to face whatever is distracting us. So this card is actually helping you see how to create some sort of way to work through those limiting beliefs or those anxieties or those things that are kind of holding you back, and facing those fears. What is something that's bringing you anger? What is making you angry as a manifestor? Is there a lingering problem that's been happening that you've been avoiding, that you haven't wanted to address, and it's keeping you from finding that clarity and peace that you really need? So this darkness, or this feeling of darkness, is really only temporary. And it's kind of just showing you that there is some sort of unhappiness or trouble that you need to address, like I said. So take a look at your environment, see what choices you're making. I would say use caution when making decisions this month, because those can be kind of a signpost for you. Like if things are feeling a little bit more of a struggle right now, address the things that are feeling when you're coming to that roadblock, address that and see what is actually becoming more of a distraction for you that you need to pay attention to, that you need to address. So for manifestors, really really think about what is making you angry. What are the things that are you're not finding flow in, and how can you make some sort of a change and work through that, or talk about it, or express it in some way so that you can work through those feelings. So now for the manifesting generators, we have the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is about union and coming together. As you can see on this card, there's two people who are, my camera is being weird, two people who are kind of coming together and they're sharing like this bond. And this card is really about bond making. And this month might be a month for you to have an opportunity for a new connection. It might be strengthening a bond with someone else. It could be a new relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic. There could be a great power in the connection that you have with someone else. And when two forces come together, there can be a big potential for bonding. And I would just really make sure that you're paying attention to, or not paying attention, but I guess the right word would be not forcing the connection with somebody just because you feel like you need to, because this card is the bonding card. I would say just pay attention to the connections that are being presented in front of you, and making sure that you actually have a connection with yourself too. And I feel like that's really important with this card, is not trying to fill the void of not having a love or not having a relationship or partnership or some sort of person to help you along, because really you're the key to filling that void and making sure that you're working on your own inner connection, your own inner healing before going out and trying to just like create all these bonds with people. It is very important for you to understand that and know what your desires really are before you jump into that relationship or that connection with somebody else. So just make sure you're listening to your inner authority, whatever that is, and not forcing those connections with people. But it also could be a really beautiful month for connections. If they're just feeling natural and things are kind of flowing, just allow that to kind of happen. I think that's a really beautiful card. So for the generators, we have the Two of Pentacles, and I like this guy. He's sort of like this balancing, sort of like jester, not gesture. That's something different. But he, as you can see on this card, you can see how things are kind of feeling like balance, like there's some sort of balance that's happening. He's standing on one foot. He's got these two coins, and he's sort of like he's juggling, but he's able to kind of keep his balance and flow. And he's having a lot of fun with it. This is really a very sacral card. I feel like it's really interesting when I keep pulling these like sacral cards for the generators, because he's having a lot of fun. And think of it as, you're balancing your outside world, your external world with your internal world. You're able to kind of put this focus on the things that you're doing, the things that are bringing you fun and joy and lighting you up, but you're also, this card is sort of like hearing the oohs and the ahs of the people who are watching him and the talent that he's presenting. And it's kind of like lighting him up as a way of like giving him some energy. But I feel like it's important for you to celebrate yourself in those things. He's also able to keep his balance by adapting to the environment. So things are maybe a little bit more windy or wavy based on the transits and what it looks like in your chart.
Libra, this feels like very Libra South Node Eclipse here.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's able to kind of just find ways to work with that without having to topple over, because they're able to kind of adapt to that environment and really use that sacral juice to light yourself up, to find whatever creative things bring you happiness. Maybe you wanting to find some sort of new creative hobby, or are you even like allowing yourself to fill your own cup up, because it's important for you to do things that bring you joy and light, so that you can energize yourself and so that you can pour into other people's cups.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you've been feeling kind of down lately, this card is asking you to find that creative outlet to kind of go and like turn on that sacral center.
I think for something that generators really need to ask themselves, and something that I had to ask myself this last year that poured into this year, was, where am I not having fun? And how can I bring fun back into either, like, for example, my business? Like, I feel like there were things that I was doing. Like, I really realized this last year, a lot of the ways I was really messing myself up and really continuing to pour into aspects of my business, for example, that were no longer in alignment with who I am. And we have a little bit of I want to say a challenge of continuing to do the same thing, because we can. We have the life force to continue and keep going. But if there's no fun in it, what is the point as a
Yeah.
generator? So I asked myself, where can I bring the fun back into my business and have creative outlets within my business where I am having fun? And one of it is this, like restructured this. And I feel like we're having a lot more fun with this now. And like adding those new series, like these are some of the ways that we give back to you guys. And it's also a way that we're pouring into ourselves. So it's like I pour into me and then it pours into you. And that's really how
Yeah.
life should be. So
Yeah.
like we're all here to be of service in some way. And it's like this is a way for me to be of service while also having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a good example. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's helpful
You're
for
welcome.
a lot of
I
the
feel like
70% of us are generators, so they need to hear it. It's
yeah.
important. Okay, so then for the projectors, we have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands asks the projectors, where can you step up to guide and inspire others? And some things maybe have been shifting for you lately, or you feel like you're feeling a shift of energy. Are you getting invitations? Do you feel like you're getting invitations to help and support others, whether that's with an activity or just being invited to speak your words and to help guide them with that? The downside of this card is feeling super confident in something and not being invited into sharing that. And so you're kind of like marching around waiting for people to listen to you. So don't get ahead of yourself and start sharing and start trying to guide people who aren't open to accept your support, because it'll kind of fall upon deaf ears if you're not actually invited into that situation. So don't try and like just jump right on the horse and head out to the race, because you really need to be invited and recognized for that instead. So know what invitations also are some things that you need to say no to, what feels like a correct invitation. And I feel like maybe this could be a time for projectors to kind of recognize what it looks like for themselves. If you're new to human design, do you know what an invitation looks like? Do you know what it feels like to be recognized? Do you understand those concepts, and maybe just test it out, like see what it feels like for those invitations, whether it's in a conversation and someone says, what do you think? That's an invitation if you feel like you want to share, something like that. So instead of just jumping into sharing those things, then just knowing what that invitation is. And then I think proper exchange could be important for this as well for the projectors, is just to make sure that you're not just saying yes to everything to give your energy to all, but know that you're having some sort of an exchange with whatever it is that you're invited into.
Mhm.
And then lastly, we have the reflectors, and the reflectors got temperance.
Did they
And
get
this
that
was such
card
a
last time?
manifesting generators got this one last
Oh,
time,
okay. It's like
which
somebody.
I think is pretty cool, because there's a you can kind of use that same information, but I think with a reflector, it's really unique because this is also asking them to pour into their creative side and to stay grounded and to make sure you're balancing those needs of yourself and the other too. Because also as a reflector, you're sort of like that calm, you're also that calm and collected in the midst of the chaos. And you're able to kind of understand what it's like to be peaceful and calm when there's some sort of like, external swirliness going on. When the transits are trying to kind of mix you up, then this could be an opportunity for you to see what that feels like, and to look at your chart and look at your transits and see what is in your environment, what kind of external situations feel unbalanced. I would say, how can you move past things that aren't working for you? How can you overcome obstacles? Find maybe some new ways to create some sort of peace and order for your people, for your greater good. And really sharing your gift of having patience. Or if you're struggling with that, this could be an opportunity for you to tap into some sort of patience and what that looks like for you. So that's all I got for them.
All right. Well, we do hope that this information provided you some guidance for the month, a little bit of a roadmap carved out by the stars and the planets and above. And may the stars ever be in your favor. Feel free to give us a big thumbs up on YouTube, share this episode with a friend, write us a review on Apple Podcasts, a good review, and and leave us a comment on what you got out of this episode if you feel called. And we'll see you over on the next one. Oh,
See ya.
and don't forget, Intro to Variables happening
Yes.
on March 3rd. You can sign up in the description down below. And
Yeah,
we'll
we look
see ya
forward to
on
it.
March 3rd. All right.
Yeah.
Bye,
Thanks for listening.
guys.
Bye. Thank you for tuning into today's episode of our podcast on the Human Design and Astro Club. We hope you have found the information insightful and useful. If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving us a review and sharing it with your friends and family. We love to hear from our listeners, so feel free to reach out to us with any feedback, questions, or suggestions for future episodes. Until next time, thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.